All right, hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to the Quality Cup Life Podcast. My name is Imani, and here we talk about basic life skills for young adults. You know, there's just some things that your parents either couldn't or didn't teach you, college didn't or couldn't teach you, high school didn't and couldn't teach you. It just wasn't in the curriculum. I don't know. But so that's what this podcast is about. Hello, welcome. And so the last few episodes I've been talking about, the theme was health. And we had 2 guests, technically 3 guests. And today it's just me. Hello, what's up? And so today we are talking about stress, y'all. It's been 2 weeks since the last episode dropped. And it's been very stressful. And I know I cannot be the only one. I'm pretty sure everybody is stressed, low-key, high-key, hello. And so what I think from this point forward, I'm going to do one every 2 weeks until I can get an editor to come and help me, because a lot goes into this stuff, believe it or not. And so, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Hello, but I'm glad to see you all. I'm glad to be seen, glad to hear and be heard from y'all. And so the stress thing goes a lot into your health. To be honest, when I was researching this episode, it was stressful just looking this stuff up, because I'm like, oh snap. So I was looking up the top stressors for Gen Z and millennials. For the longest, I thought I was a millennial until I started looking it up. And Google was trying to tell me I'm a Gen Z, and I'm like, oh snap. I thought since I was in the 90s, came out the womb in the 90s, that solidifies me as a millennial, but apparently it does not. So so I guess technically I'm a Gen Z. 96 means Gen Z. I don't know. I'm gonna be 27 in a couple days, so I don't know. We'll see. But the top 2 stressors has been, I think it's career and financial development and relationships. And I was like, that makes sense. And so that's it makes a whole lot of sense. You're trying to figure your life out, and those are 2 really, really big things. And so let's get into it, okay? So we're gonna get a little bit geeky right quick, and I'm gonna give you if you're watching this, you're gonna see a couple pictures to explain what the heck I'm talking about, right? So let me tell you what controls stress in your mind right quick. So it's called the HPA axis, the hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis. And it's just like a sort of like a stress regulatory systems. These are the biggest like pieces of organs or things in your body that kind of control the stress. And it goes from like your brain to there's a gland in your brain, and then I think somehow it goes to like your spinal cord, and there's some part, I ain't trying to hold you all day, so I'm not going to break it down. I'm just going to summarize it real quick. The adrenal glands is they like the size of your thumb, and they sit on top of your kidney, and all of this stuff, short story, regulates your hormones. And either when you're super stressed, you're either going to get hit with the cortisol or I think DHA. Cortisol breaks down your muscle and brain tissue, and what you don't want to do is break down. And that when I was looking this up, it made sense why stress is a killer. You hear that all the time, like stress is not good for the body, but it's kind of hard to know why. And that's why if you have too much cortisol, it'll start to break down in your system, and there's no balance. It'll start to break down your muscle and your tissues, and we don't want that. And that includes your heart. Your heart is a muscle, and who wants to be in their 20s or early 30s walking around with a bad heart? No one. So, and then DHA, which is the sort of I don't want to say the opposite, but opposite. One of the things is your sex hormone, and a lot of people who have thyroid issues don't stay locked in with me. I know this is a lot of geeky stuff, but a lot of people who have thyroid issues are low in DHA. So DHEA, I'm sorry. DHA is the fat. It's a different thing. So DHEA is what I meant to say. And so we got all the geeky stuff out of the way, right? And so I have a quick 12 little tips and things for you to kind of think about and consider incorporating this into your life. Because honestly, well, at least for me, and I've heard other people say this too, with me turning 27 in a couple days, I'm approaching 30. And, the older you get, the more responsibilities you tend to accrue, and then the more responsibilities other people want to accrue on you, they want to put on you, and they have expectations from you. And that stuff is hard enough. And especially with the top stressors being financial and career stressors and relationship stressors, those would be separate episodes that we can dig into that. But for this, we're just talking about just simple things to kind of help you regulate your stress so you can begin to address those things, right? And so I do have a couple of those things in there, but we're going to start with the general things, okay? So number one is y'all go outside, take a walk, do some type of outdoor activity. Please get some fresh air. It is so freeing and clearing to just get outside and just breathe in fresh air. I don't know where you live. I live in the South, so the air is, you see trees, you just feel like, I don't know, you feel like kind of like one with nature a little bit. You get to see the birds. You get to, when I'm outside and I'm by myself, I get to pray and I get to watch the wildlife around me, the trees, the wind blowing the trees and flowers and stuff like that. And it just kind of calms me and brings me a sort of sense of peace. And when I was in college and I used to skateboard to class and things like that, that was my stress reliever as well. And that was also my form of exercise. I would just kind of put my headphones on if I was stressed or whatever. I knew the parking lots to go to in the campus that was the smoothest. And I would just have my headphones on and I would just be in my own zone. I get to kind of chill. I get to listen to some uplifting music or whatever, or some music to get me pumped up, whatever. And so that has been very beneficial to me. I need to get back to that, to be honest. More physical activity, because I kind of been in the cave low key. And you may not know much about this, which is totally cool. We can get into this some other time, but vitamin D is super good for the happiness. How you feel like you got energy. Vitamin D is really good for that, and that comes from the sun naturally. So y'all get outside. Let's get outside. 2, buy your favorite food, because that always makes me happy. It always brings me up. But try to pick something that's on the healthier side. When I haven't done this in a while, but when I had a really stressful day at work, or just stressful day in general, I got this smoothie spot that I go to. I like to drink foods. I don't know. It's less for me to think about. I don't have to worry about chewing. That may sound lazy, but I don't the smoothie tasted good. It wasn't super sweet. I knew what was in it. The ingredients was good. The materials were clean. And I can just sip and drive or sip and walk, and that was cool. And yeah, so get your favorite foods, but choose a healthier option. Yeah. Number 3, one of the coolest things that always brought me joy was meeting up or getting together with a friend that you can just kind of let your burdens down, so to speak, or a friend that you can just forget all of that stuff and you can just have a good time. Y'all can just laugh and squeal and make all the jokes and whatever else. And what's just top tier is that person is balled up all into one. You can talk about your issues, and then you can push that aside, and you can get to the clowning part. Y'all can move on to get to clowning. And so one of the wonderful things that I love about friends. It's great. So do that, because that'll really lower your stress level and just kind of give you just a different perspective of life, depending on who your friends are. Y'all be careful who your people are, and who you also tell your business, quote unquote, to. Be careful of that, though. All right, number 4. Eat plenty of vegetables, protein, and maybe a little bit of fruit, not too much. And so, you know how the beginning, a couple minutes ago, I was talking about the HPA axis? Can you imagine if your body is physically under a lot of stress or pressure because it's missing nutrients, because you kind of been feeling some kind of way and you racking up on the fast food and Mountain Dew sodas or whatever the case may be? Can you imagine what that does to your body when you have the mental stress as well? You don't want to put double the stress on your body. Your body is already fighting stress, especially if you don't have a lot of fruits, vegetables, well, minimal on the fruits, but proteins. If you're not eating clean or as clean as possible, or being just mindful about what you put in your mouth, you're going to put double the stress in your body. And you're too young to be having that type of stress on your body. The world is hard enough. Y'all, I keep finding gray hairs in my head. My face look like I've been drinking from the same pond as Tuck Everlasting. Shout out to y'all who know what Tuck Everlasting is. I got the baby face, but I don't want to have a head full of gray hairs. Not yet. so you, like, we gotta be mindful of that. We gotta be mindful of that. Because I don't want that for me, and I don't want that for y'all either. And I'm sure y'all don't want a head full of gray hairs at 26 or 27. 5. Y'all, clean out your car. Clean out your car. I'm talking to me now. I need to clean out my car. I'm going to show you my car is a mess. Find something to clean out. Your car, your room, your purse. My purse is a mess. Well, my purse isn't as much of a mess now, but if my sister ever hears this, girl, clean out your purse. Is it a book bag? Your closet, your cell phone? Clear out your cell phone, clear out your pictures, your clear out some of those apps you don't use or you don't need like that, or some of those distracting apps. Y'all, clean out your email. I have so many emails. Oh my God. On my personal email, I have like 12,000 emails. It's horrendous. So find something to kind of clear out. I promise you can just kind of, you can breathe so much better. You get a new sense of life. You get a weight lifted off of you when you clean stuff out. You feel like a boss. I ain't gonna lie. You feel like a boss when you clean something out real quick. I always feel like a boss. And like I'm driving a brand new car when I clean it out. So, and I make it smell good, get the air freshener to go with it, vacuum that sucker out. It's good. Be good. So, all right. So those are like the basic general stress relieving tips. And I decided to throw in some very general financial and some very general relationship type stuff too, since the top stressors were financial, career, and relationship stuff. So the first one, so this is number 6, but the first one about financials is create a money plan every time you get paid, or you can do it before you get paid. Especially if you get paid the same amount every check or whatever. I don't know what your work is. Y'all, create a plan so you can see where the money is going, and that way you can start to redirect that money to where you want it to go, and redirect it to benefit your future. Because I know you might feel like people don't say this nowhere, YOLO, but your future is coming. Either you gonna die, either you dead, or your future's coming. And you're not dead if you listening or watching to this or watching this. So your future is coming quicker than you think. I blinked my eyes and I'm gonna be 27 in 2 days. I don't know how I turned 27 already. So it's coming. and it saved my life when I was in college. Man, I was getting paid in college once a month. I was so broke. And then, I don't know if y'all know this, but I was doing work study. And work study, you can only make $1,000 a month. Not $1,000 a month, $1,000 per semester. That's what, 3 or 4 months? And you got to spread $1,000 over that? Bruh, it's rough. And that saved my entire life doing that. I mean, I was still broke, but it just helped me do that, and I was able to rearrange the leftover that I did have to benefit my future, if that makes sense. And that way y'all can see how much are you spending on Starbucks? You can see how much you're spending on your car, your rent. Can you actually afford this rent? Should you move? Is your car too much? Does your car take up too much gas? If you have a car payment, is the payment too high? Is the insurance too high? So that way you can kind of get a look at that and see, where do I need to adjust some things? Okay, number 7. I think I was in college, back to college. I was in college and I was watching this channel. I was getting super into trying to learn how money works and financials and how do people, go from here to here type thing. And there's this channel on YouTube called Minority Mindset. And there's this guy named Jasprit. I think that's how you pronounce it. He has like this turban on his head. One of the things that I always remember that he said was, if you can help it now, try not to buy things unless you can buy 3 of them cash. If you can't buy 3 of them cash, if it's not an emergency, hold off until you can get that money. And I used to feel like a little player, you know what I'm saying? The first time I saved up $1,000 working over the summer, I was working at 2 jobs. The first time I saved up, but I was actually saving up to get a camera. It's not this camera, but another camera. Man, I was feeling like a cool daddy, cool mama when I realized, oh snap, like I can afford to get a camera. And I'm like, oh wait, let me make sure that I can get 2. Okay, now I can get 3. And so once I got to a certain number, then I got the camera, and I was just so proud of myself. And since then, every time I look to buy something, and I see that I can get multiple, like I be feeling real cool. Or if it's just something that I like, but I don't need it and I don't necessarily have to have it, it still makes me feel cool to know that I can if I want to. I can get it if I want to. So that's something that always stays with me. The next thing, number 8, and this is the last thing about financial, but it's more like career development type thing, is work on getting your skill set up and leveling up your marketplace value. To be honest, y'all, degrees are being worth less and less. You can have a whole degree with $60,000 in student loan debt. Biden not coming to get you out the hole no more. So, and a company offer you $12 an hour to use what you paid and you went into debt for. You paid $100,000 for 4 years or 5 years or 6 years, depending on how long it took you. I'm like, it's like, how are you supposed to recoup on that? Not just afford your lifestyle, but also just your basic necessities, and then I gotta pay this back? How? So try to just sit down and slow down and see, okay, where do I want to go? What do I want to do? How much do they pay? Okay, cool. And how much does it cost to get there? Is there a cheaper route to get there? What do I need to do to get there? Yeah, because some people don't really think about it. There's this kid, I'm saying a kid, he 19 or something like that. He wants to be, I think it's an investigator or something like that. And I was asking him questions about, okay, well, what do you need to do? He's not doing very well in school. And I was asking him questions about what does he need to do to get to where he wants to be. And he didn't even know a clear path on how to get there. And I'm like, bro, I ain't trying to be funny, but you cannot afford to be in school. I know you ain't got the bread like that, and I know your family don't. You cannot afford to be in school going tens of thousands of dollars into debt and not do well in school and not know the career path to get you where you want to go. You got to figure that out, my man. You don't want to be paying all this money and have to owe all this money back for a degree you didn't even get. You got a loan. You got enough loans to equal a degree, but no degree. And even if you get the degree, you still need to know what path. Y'all, college is a lot of money, bruh. It's a lot. So I just really, it's important. It's highly important. And so number 9 is to have boundaries and expectations that you communicate openly. Man, because I think from my own relationship and then just observing other people's, because I'm really about that observing life. It'll really mess you up if you want people to do something for you, or you have expectations for stuff and then you never communicate them and be mad that they didn't do what you wanted them to do, but you never told them. You never like openly communicated that with him, her, whatever. And then also with the boundaries perspective, if you have certain boundaries, if there's things you will not be doing, you will not tolerate, you do not even like, if you just highly really don't like something, or if you have preferences for whatever, if you don't communicate those things, like if people don't know this is a limit, this is a guard line, what is it called? The gates with the barbed wire. If you don't have those up and you don't let people know, like you gonna be mad. And then you're going to feel like you got played. And you don't want that. You don't want that. And so for me personally, from the beginning, and, things got added along the way. But when I first started dating Stefan, we kind of like set up boundaries up front. Like, I'm not here for this. I'm not here for that. This is a no. That's a no. I'm going to need you to open my car door for me. I wasn't like, you need to open my car. I wasn't like that. But I'm like, waiting for my car door to be opened. Waiting for a door, even if it's not a car door, to be open. Like, just stuff like that. You gotta let folks know. You gotta let folks know. And it's kind of tough, I'm not gonna lie, but you gotta listen to me though real quick. It's much better to have your feelings hurt up front by a person that you just really like, or you kind of like them and you're interested in them, versus you becoming deeply connected to a person over some time, and then you be heartbreaking later, and you feel like you got played. Like, that makes things so much worse. It doesn't feel good up front, but it's much worse. It's much better to let somebody go after the first or second month, even third, fourth, fifth month, than it is to let them go after a year or two. Because now you're used to them. You done met the family. You got his jacket at your house. You got this. You got that. I mean, it's you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that if it's not necessary. And then number 10 is learn to read the room. Get a sense of what people say about you, whether that's past people, current or whatever. Kind of get a general idea and be observant and listen about what they say about you, what they think about you. And also pay attention to how they treat you when you're alone with them, and also how they treat you around other people or in public. And I kind of mentioned this on, I think it was either episode 37 or 38, 36 and 37, something like that. It was the episode with we were talking about how dating is going in 2023. I ain't gonna lie, I've seen some guys either treat women very well and make them feel like, they're the most important person to them, and they're committed to them and all this stuff, and they really care about them and love them, and they really respect them while they're together, and they get like this whole facade and impression. But then when you're not around, he be talking to you like he don't really care like that. He talking to this girl, that girl. I'm like, you feel me? Like, it's not good. I never wanted to be one of those people, ever. I'm like, I need to know. I be keeping my ear to the street, you feel me? That ear be to the street. I need to know what's going on and what's the real, what's the real. I need to know. And then there's some other times where, the guy or the girl, they're nice to you they're cool with you and they're nice and stuff when you're alone. I mean, when you're just the two of y'all together or whatever, but it's not given, I'm committed and I'm here for you. It's given, I'm good, I'm here, what's the Drake song? I'm here for a good time, not a long time, and that's not, at least for me, that's not it. And those types of things can be stressful because you don't know where the heck you're going, and I need some I need some type of indication of where the heck are we going? Where is this going? Because if not, then it's a wrap for me. It's a wrap for me. 11. Almost done, y'all. In general, don't take on too much. This is just general. Speaking, like I said, do not take on too much. It's okay to push yourself, but incorporate some of the previous things that I mentioned to help you avoid burnout. And I'm talking to me because I be burned out because I be thinking I can do. I've said this so many times, and apparently I'm hard-headed and I don't learn my lesson, but I be taking on so much because I'm thinking that I'm superwoman. I'm super Imani out here. And that's not how life works. And you can only focus on one thing at a time. So please don't be like the past Imani. I'm turning into a new woman this time, but please don't do that. I don't want to say take your time, because you don't want to be so slow paced that you miss out on life's opportunities. Jump in, but just jump in with intention, with focus, with a plan, if you're following me. And then last one, 12, plug, y'all go cop some merch. Quality Cup Life now has its own merch. It's just 3 items right now. Got the mug, pour into your own cup first. The back is Everyone Else Can Wait. We got the Did You Drink Water Today? On the back, refill me please. And then a hat, Did You Drink Water Today? Y'all, that's all I'm asking. Did you drink it? I think it's a wonderful reminder for you. It's a wonderful reminder to anybody that you encounter, anybody who even sees, for instance, this hat on your head. It's a good reminder to them to take care of themselves, pour into their cup first. Taking care of yourself, making sure that you good. You got to make sure that you give something for yourself, take care of yourself in some type of way. And I think it's also a good conversation starter. I like talking to people, and I just think it's a great and positive conversation starter. And then so is this water bottle. And then it's also a reminder to you when you see it to put some water in it. I know you drank the whole bottle. It's only 20 ounces. Go ahead and refill it like 2 to 3 more times. Or 4, depending on how much your body weight or mass is. So y'all, thank you so much for supporting the brand. Go cop you some merch. Happy birthday to me. And I will catch y'all in 2 weeks. Thanks. Bye.